Hello and welcome to another tutorial. Today we will be working on floor techniques for Minecraft. So we're going to be going from beginner to advanced techniques. So of course let's get started with that. So down here, there is of course it's the beginner. So, of course, one of the things you will probably be well aware of, familiar with, is actually the very common checkerboard pattern design. It is commonly seen in beginner builds because it's relatively easy to do. Now, we're going to be using a lot of the stripped wood designs in this tutorial. Now, you can use whatever palette fits your build best. These are just basically examples. Now, of course, then you have the little zigzag design, which I've seen used in various builds. It's a very popular design among medieval builds because it looks sort of like tiled floors. Then you have the chevron design, another really simple design, which if you actually mirror it along this axis right here, you can actually create a diamond back design. And then of course over here is another example of the diamond back, as I said, which is used terracotta to make it an example of a tricolor. Now this would be very good in a variety of builds, but now we're on to the directional block tiling. This is intermediate designs, just saying. So over here we have the directional block tiling, which of course, please don't disappoint me and use hay bales for directional blocks in this design. It will not look great. It will not. But what you want to do is you can use anything from quartz pillars to logs like I did here. And this looks pretty good for a woven floor. Like woven wood, you know, the wood tiles. Now we're going to go into the advanced now. These are your geometric ones, like circles and such, and curves. Oftentimes with the circles, you have to do circles then a circle. You have to find out where your center is. Of course, if you have an odd number, you want to use an odd number of blocks in the center. Even number in the center. Now, of course, generally you want to go tricolor and such, and now we have a pinwheel over here. This is a very complex design. Not as complex as you may see in other designs, but it's complex nonetheless. You see it has multiple things. We used a variant of the checker using directional blocks. We used this is a quad color, so it's multiple colors altogether. Now, one of the things people often have difficulty with is curves, because they can just be tricky in general. Now, one of the things I found best is the woven texture is actually the best thing for this, other than that or another tile texture such as the checkered. The reason being is it doesn't rely on the curves as much as others may. Like if you were to take this dark oak and replace every other block, it wouldn't exactly look as great as this would in most cases. Now there are certain advanced techniques I did leave out due to time's sake and also due to the fact that we're on a super flat world. Among those would be the mirrored floor, which is basically inverting your build under the floor of a glass pane or other transparent block. You may also want to include hidden lighting in your floor, such as you would with this. So we would basically just hide under here, and it would basically hide some lighting. Now, normally you wouldn't use trapdoors, you'd use like carpet or something, but that's what we used. So basically then you'd also go with the corners and do the same thing. And that's actually how you would hide lighting generally. Pretty simple and straightforward. I hope I hope you liked this tutorial. If you found anything in it specifically helpful to you, please let me know down in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.